I don't think that opportunities are good or bad anymore. I'm realizing that they're either good for you or they're not. They're either aligned or misaligned. They're either a good fit or not a good fit. And understanding this has helped me to view everything differently. Because there are many times when I've gotten opportunities and they just didn't quite seem right for me. And everybody else is always like, I would kill for that opportunity, or I would love to be in your shoes. And for them, the opportunity may have been great, even though they didn't experience it and you're just looking at it from the outside. But it could have very well been a great opportunity for them. But it's just not a great fit for me based on just who I am. And understanding this is really what helps me to see that if somebody gets an opportunity, the worst thing you can do is end with that person because you don't even know the reason why they are giving it up. It's not that it's not a good opportunity, but it's just not maybe good for them. And I think once we start asking ourselves these better questions, it will help us to identify what fits us more. Because yes, it's a good opportunity, but good for who? Yes, it may be a bad opportunity, but bad based on whose goals. I may be very well successful, but success based on whose definition of success. It's understanding that even if the opportunity looks great on paper, it just may not be the best thing for you. A six-figure corporate job, which is many people's dream, may not be for another person who feels trapped in climbing the corporate ladder. Not because it's a bad opportunity, but it's not a good fit for them. Entrepreneurship, though glamorized, may just not work for some people. Yes, there are some people who are lazy and just want to not do anything extra other than the 9 to 5. But there are people who just genuinely wouldn't thrive in entrepreneurship. Their skill set are way much better utilized in the regular 8 hour day job. Being a stay at home mom may be a great fit for some people, but it just may not be a good fit for somebody else. And it's not that anything is wrong with it. It's just that it's a good fit for who likes it and it's not a good fit for who don't. Right? Moving to a new country or just constantly being an expat at every every 6 months, every 4 months may be great for somebody who just enjoys that thrill. It may not be great for somebody who wants stability, who wants to be planted in one location. And when we look at things this way, it helps us to really see that it's whether this opportunity is a good fit for me versus if this opportunity is a good opportunity. And the more options you have, the less likely you are to accept opportunities that aren't a good fit. And it's not because you don't need opportunities anymore, but it's because you are able to see things when you're not being desperate all the time for something. Do you ever notice that whenever you're starving and you really need something to eat, you just want to eat anything? If you didn't meal prep before, you're just going to grab the nearest thing in the fridge. And it's not because you're not disciplined, it's not because you don't have self control all the times. Sometimes it's just because you're desperate to eat. You're really hungry and you need to fill that void right now. And that same thing applies to when you have bills and responsibilities and you desperately need a job to pay them. It's not that you took this job because you think it's going to be the holy grail, but it's because you took it because you knew there was going to be a guaranteed income and you needed that guaranteed income to cover your responsibilities. So when you have more options, you can see that, okay, this is a great, but I, and though I need the income, I have something over here covering all of my bills, and I can see that this opportunity will not work for me. I can wait for something else that's more aligned, that I don't have to quit within the next 2 months, because that is the cycle that goes on. You take something because you need the cash, and then you quit within 6 months when the pressure comes on you, but you already knew it wasn't a good fit from the get go, but you still had to take it because you were desperate for an income. And this is part of why I am building the rebuild workshop. So I have finally gotten a little bit more clarity on what I want to go into this session with. The reason why I'm doing this session is because I want to help create options, help you guys to see the options that you have, right? And help you to create a personal roadmap to get to the next step, identifying what are your priorities and identifying what success means to you. And I want you to just be able to have at least one, walking away from that conversation, at least one option, at least having an idea of what to do next, right? Having clarity and having one option on how you can try to rebuild your life in this process. This will be a virtual workshop, the 18th of July, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I think I'm going to be limiting it to around 10 to 15 seats, just so that I can keep it within the time frame, 1 hour, and so that I can deliver efficiently what I am suggesting right now. And of course, I'm also going to be rolling out some seats for my one-on-one sessions. It's going to be two sessions. It's going to be a 30-minute session. You're going to walk away from that with 3 clear action steps on what you should take based on what we've discussed and what's your roadmap, right? And if you want something more detailed and more personalized, I'm going to be having a 60-minute session that you will walk away with a 90-day roadmap. And so I'm slowly rolling out all of these pieces. But the reason why I'm doing it and why I'm even offering this workshop free is because I don't want you to have a reason as to why you don't want to show up. I want to make it accessible to as much people, even though I'm limiting it 10 to 15 seats. But I want it to be something that you can access even at the point where, okay, maybe you don't have your finances ready yet. I want to be able to give you something tangible so you can start acting on to rebuild your life so that you can get the finances, and maybe you can book one of my one-on-one sessions to get something more detailed and personalized. But this is the whole point of it. This is the whole point of it. It's helping you to see that once you start to have options for yourself, you don't act out of desperation. You make better decisions. You make more calculated decisions. You make decisions that are aligned with your future. I am not going to come on here and tell anybody to just quit your job and go be irresponsible, right? Just because you don't want to put the time in. It's a completely different space where you are just mentally exhausted and you've given thought and you've given time and you've given effort to your current situation, and it's just draining you and you need to create a different environment for yourself. And that is enough reason to create options for yourself. That is enough reason to create a floor for yourself, that you're not flat on your face. You've considered all your responsibilities. You've considered everything that you need to consider, and you are equipped to make that transition versus that you're impulsively doing it. And if you've done it impulsively, no shame. I think we've all been there at some point, but as you grow older and mature, you realize that you have to be more calculated in your decisions, especially because you're trying to develop a life that is intentional. An intentional life is not an impulsive life. An intentional life is a strategic, calculated life. And so you want to be able to give yourself options so that you can choose opportunities that are more aligned with you in every single aspect of your life. All right. So if this sounds like something interesting to you, stay on the lookout for the links that I'm going to be dropping for the workshop and also the sessions. And in the meantime, give this video a like and share it with anybody who could benefit that is in the season of rebuilding right now and trying to find that space of clarity and action. And they're kind of just, in the middle and need somebody to walk alongside them. Send this video to them. It could be the very thing that they need. And also comment below and tell me what would be of most benefit to you should you attend this free rebuild workshop. I'd love to hear that below. And if you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing and follow me on all social media platforms at Khrista-Lee. More, that's Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And I will see you in my next video tomorrow. Let's go make some mistakes. Bye.